This show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for certain audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised. A friendly reminder, Mary Jane edibles are not a substitute for actually paying your Lyft driver. Don't forget to tip your bartenders, you filthy fucking animals. And if you've got kinks, we've got links. Don't forget to subscribe, put on your seatbelt, and enjoy the ride.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Thespian Talk. It's been a couple weeks or so, but we are back. And also sneezing a little bit, but that's okay. We do that. You know, Gesundheit and all that good shit. I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian. With me is Michelle.
Hello.
And Scolipendra.
Hello there.
So yeah, lots of bullshit has happened in the past couple of weeks. Some of which I will say for later because they're not part of the news stories or whatever.
Okay.
But our meme topics for this week, very, very timely. Let's just say one of them is very, very timely. So, spoiler alert: we've made it up to Trump on the list. So. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he'll be the last, and in the order it goes, he'll be the last one. So Donald Trump comes last, like he's supposed to. Like he always should. But I gotta hold myself back on it. Gotta hold myself back. Yeah. Just last week we were meaning to do recording or whatever, but my brain is like, no, dude, no. You are not up for it. Just So it's, just one of those weeks. I mean, and it was bad enough that poor Lacey got concerned. She's like, dude, are you all right? I'm like, I'll be all right. She good friend. She good people.
Yeah. Good people.
Yup.
Oh. But yeah, and in some happier news, though, the morning the day we're recording this, this particular morning, Pokemon released, the Pokemon Company released some new stuff about their Sword and Shield DLC, and I'm looking forward to it. Cool. Showing like all the legendary Pokemon coming back, and a new item that if you give it to a Pokemon, they can use their hidden ability. So that's like, fun. Shit, competitive just got a lot more inclusive. Which I think is something that they were aiming for to begin with. I mean, as if you couldn't tell. Because you got things to increase your Pokemon's IVs, you got things to change their natures, you got things to change their regular abilities. Now you got one for their hidden abilities. Like, they're pushing, taking your in-game team and making them competitive. Which, hey, cool. That score bunny you picked at the beginning of your adventure, boom, put them in competitive. Although not right now because Cinderace is banned. They change up the rules every month or so, different seasons. I know it, just trying to see what works, what doesn't work, what have you. They try to balance things out. So, and of course, Cinderace is not the. I think 2/3 of the Galar starters are banned, along with at least 1/3 of the Alola starters. Like Jabus.
To be fair, I'm still stuck on Gen 1, so I don't know most of these terms.
Yeah. I think Venusaur is banned in this round too.
Oh, that one I know.
Yeah. So,
dude, I'm still playing Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ah, yes. Pokemon Yellow was my first.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
One of these days I'm gonna grab out my case and take a picture of my Game Boy and GBA games because there's some titles in there you might find interesting.
Yeah, I've still got some laying around. In fact, I got them all in like this drawer or whatever. Yeah. And I've got multiples of like certain portables. Like, got multiple Game Boy Advance SPs because I play Pokemon and didn't always have the chance to get together and trade with other people. So, you got the means, do it. And obviously, if you don't have the means, then then that really sucks. But they have been taking Game Freak and Pokemon Company and all that. They have been taking strides in making it to where you don't have to have somebody right there to do it. You can find somebody online and do it. Which, in some cases, is its own thing because there are there are sites out there whose users will just generate some random hacked Pokemon and then just send them out into the world. And while the game doesn't realize they're hacked, people do. Like there's this thing called Wonder Trade, which is you put up a Pokemon for trade, and you get a random one from somebody else in return. So, you don't know until you get it. Well, I did one recently through Pokemon Sword, and I don't remember what I sent out, probably just one of the many Pokemon that was breeding out for shiny hunting. And I got back a shiny Eevee, which, okay, that's good. Ooh. Very good. I didn't really need one. I've already bred out that particular line, but hey, extras are good. With 6 IVs, those are individual values. Basically, the higher the individual value, the stronger it is. Okay. With, I think it even has Pokerus, which basically doubles the amount of effort values your Pokemon gets from battling, just in general. Like, if you battle, let's say, a Rattata, you get 1 extra point to your speed. Every 4 points will increase that stat by 1 point. So, that's a very bare bones way of putting it. But Pokerus doubles that. And it's like, okay, that is, while it's not outside the realm of possibility, it is extremely unlikely. Hell, when I was shiny hunting Eevee using breeding and all of that, I got nearly a box full of max IV Eevee with various abilities before I got a shiny. In fact, I pretty much got them probably that much in between shinies.
Yeah.
So, because if you want to do a living shiny dex, you got to get 8 EV at least.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get 9, because you got to count the original too. So, yeah. So that, and also they mark their like trainer IDs or the Pokemon name or whatever as thisname.com. Yeah, you're hacked. And now, personally, would I go and use a hacked Pokemon, even if the game sees it as legit? Would I go and use it in like a competitive battle or whatever? Nah. But I'll hold on to it. I'll store it because it's like, yeah, why not? Like, I got a shiny Deoxys in a similar way. like Wonder Trade. Like, all right, here, boom, boom. There you go. Come back. Why is this Deoxys? Wait, that Deoxys is not red. That you sent me a goddamn shiny. Turns out it was hacked in because at that particular point, you could not legitimately get a Deoxys, especially in the generation it came from. So, yeah. The generation that particular Deoxys came from. Not like a Gen 3 Deoxys. Which, depending on where you are, could be legit or not. But that's a whole bunch of Pokemon stuff, and that's some of the good stuff that just needed to come out there. And also the Mario 3D collection came around, and that's all right. I'm reminded of how clunky Mario 64's camera controls are.
I still not be able to get hold of a copy.
Yeah.
I was trying to get it in my local supermarket because I get discount because of my partner, and then after payday they have like an extra 5% discount, so I could have got it for 15% less. It was already £45, which I think is about $50, and it was never in stock.
Oh no. Oh. But yeah, games, they're the classics. I got them. Yeah. Obviously.
I never actually played them, so for me it'll be new. I know people saying it's not the best port. They could have made it a lot shinier. They could have done this, like you say, like the camera controls and stuff. But I probably won't notice a difference because I never played them, when they were original. So it's like, this is all. It might be clunky, but I have no nostalgia.
Yeah, and some speedrunners are kind of lamenting there are some bugs and glitches that were taken out that they would use to make speedrunning the game a little easier, but. What can you do?
Well, rest in peace, 16-star runs.
Yeah. Well, you can still do them on the originals. You just can't do them on the Switch.
Well, yeah. That's what I meant.
Oh. So, yeah. Michelle, how have you been the past couple of weeks?
Not too bad. I left my job at Hamley's, my choice, to concentrate on I think I said before that I was working at Hamleys, which is fine. I liked the job, but it was getting up at 5 a.m. to go like on the train, and then like another 20-minute walk, and then back again for a 5-hour shift, and then I started an evening job doing cleaning, and I overlapped that for 3 weeks, and I was going a bit cuckoo nuts. So I had to overlap them because one paid weekly, one paid 4 weekly, and I just need to make sure I had some money.
Yeah.
But I left on good terms. My supervisor was like, yeah, if it goes wrong or you need to come back, just talk to the boss, and we'll gladly have you back. So, yay. Other than that, a little bit throaty at the moment because I had a allergy attack last night and my throat still hurts. And I'm currently eating turkey and rice. So there's that.
Oh, that's nom. Nom nom nom.
Other than that, nothing to report really. Just getting on with it.
Yeah. How about you, Scully?
Oh, I've been doing alright. Turned 29 on the 20th, so that was nice.
Yeah. So, I don't remember I mentioned about happy birthday. Well, belated in this
Happy
case, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, that on the same day, that friend that had been MIA for a couple months returned.
Ah.
He just had internet issues. They finally got fixed. Also, but I mean, he lost some footage that he's been working his ass off to remake. So,
Oh, no.
yeah,
Oof.
yeah. I'm glad that stuff's on the mend though. So that's good.
Yeah. That is always good. Oh, God. So, a few things that I did come across in the past couple of weeks. I don't remember the outlet that posted them, but they found and posted like some things from like, oh God, what year was it? Like, I want to say it's like from the 50s or 40s or something like that. And it's a marital rating scale.
Oh God.
Yeah, they got one for husbands and one for wives. So
Do it!
oh yeah, well we're gonna go over both. So in computing the score, and this is at the top of both of them. In the computing score, check the various items under demerits which fit the husband, in the other cases the wife obviously, and add the total. Each item counts 1 point unless specifically weighted, as in parentheses. Oh, okay. I showed them to somebody else and they were wondering if there was like more than one page because the scores can go up to 76 and higher, and they're like, well, there's only 24 total, 12 things for demerits, which even with the extras, you probably could. Yeah, there are probably still more, but anyway, check items under demerits which apply, subtract demerit from merit, and the result is the husband's raw score. Raw scoring action.
Man!
Oh my.
And scores are 0 to 24 is very poor or failures. Wow, way to just be a dick. 25 to 41 is poor. 42 to 58 is average. 59 to 75 rather is superior. 76 and up is very superior. So all right. On the marital rating scale, we've got. I'll do it like this. I'll read each row. The first one is for a demerit. The second one is for merit. Think about either yourself or your partner or whatever. Oh, uh-oh. Okay. Let me do a countdown for 3, 2, 1. Okay, so with this, I'm going to read each row as it comes along. The first one is going to be demerit. The second one is going to be merit for each row. Mm-hmm. And just to reiterate, this is the husband's one. We'll get to the wife's in a bit. And you can keep track yourself, or if you've got a male partner of some sort, you can apply this to him as well if you wish. That is fine.
Evil laugh, evil laugh.
Oh boy. What have I started? Okay, so on the first row rather, stares at or flirts with other women while out with his wife, which they have a 5 in parentheses, so this is 5 times. Let's see. Last time I was out with Becky, we don't, I may have. Yeah, I'll count myself on that one because in fairness, we both stare. Mm-hmm. So, and then under merits, gives wife ample allowance or turns her paycheck over to her, which is also weighted at 5 points. It's like, you could tell when this was written because Becky and I have our own sources of income, be that as they may.
Agreed.
So it's just, don't need to. I mean,
In a name, wouldn't it?
yeah. Although, granted, I do send $50 to her through Patreon, so she'll have at least some Patreon support.
Aww.
I also do the same for Mel. So, yeah.
You big softy. Which technically means Scully's paying that because the way Patreon works is like your patrons basically pay for your other patrons.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. The way Patreon works, it's like, and I think, yeah, you can look on my Patreon page, it's like $3.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. But, let's see.
No,
oh, go ahead.
no, sorry. It's just my crude understanding of it when for the hot minute I had a Patreon is like, oh, right, so the money that they're giving me goes out to other people first before I receive it.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Let's see. The next row is reads newspaper at the table.
Can we count, like, playing on Facebook or other, looking at YouTube or stuff like that, like modding it up a bit?
Well, here's the thing. Becky and I both do this. We'll both sit there. We're like eating pizza or whatever, and we're like looking at things. We're looking on Discord, seeing what else is going on, and we'll point things out to each other. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
And then under the merits, courteous to wife's friends. I would say so.
Oh, excuse me.
Well then,
Excuse me.
it's a real show now. But courteous to wife's friends. I mean, yeah.
I don't know how to score this. I've got not really, not applicable, Facebook, PC stuff, mostly.
Yeah. So all right. Fails to come to the table promptly when meal is ready.
Yes, but mostly because he works nights, so we eat different anyway.
Yeah. We eat out. Like, then again, whenever I'm up there, eating out is pretty much the only option for me. So
Yeah.
So that's just the thing. Frequently compliments wife on like things like looks, cooking, housekeeping, etc. Oh, all the time.
He used to.
Uh-oh. Is this a call-out post? Oh, no! Let's see. The next one up is brings guests home for meals without warning the wife.
No.
Not an opportunity to do that yet. But I don't think I would do that.
No, in fairness, he doesn't do that. He'd always warn me.
Yeah. Remembers birthdays, anniversaries, etc. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Like
He's not bad with those, actually.
Yeah. Her birthday is 3 weeks. Is like exactly 3 weeks before mine. In terms of date, not year. Our anniversary is January 3rd. That's the day. The first day we started dating. So, yeah, I'm pretty good at remembering, and I can remember January 3rd because it was MagFest 2014. I got on the bus to go to DC on New Year's Eve. Got there on the 2nd. This is when we first met in person. And then the next day we decided, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do it.
No.
Yes. We also gave damn. We also gave everybody around us at MagFest diabetes. So yeah. All right. Our next one is doesn't phone when late for dinner. Not applicable to me. Helps wife with dishes, caring for children, scrubbing. I probably
Yes, actually.
yeah. I probably most likely would if we lived together. At least I hope I would.
He actually has more housework than I do, so.
Yeah. I am not the best housekeeper, but I at least would try to make an effort. Let's see. Compares wife unfavorably with his mother or other wives. Okay, this is making a big assumption that he's got more than one wife.
I think I know like other wives.
I realize that they mean I'm being a dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But
you has the dub.
no. But no. Unfavorably with no. Like I've noted differences between Becky and other women that I am into. Because hey, for those who don't know, she and I are non-monogamous. So yeah. But you know, and I have noted differences, and I think they're neat, and I think they're interesting. That doesn't make one better than the other, and I'm going to be a little bit more biased towards Becky for very obvious reasons. But you know, on the whole, no one is better than the others in terms of most of the things I would compare them to.
Yeah.
Now there are some exes that are like, oh hell, no, you are much worse. You know, the ex is worse, not Becky. You know, but that's also extenuating circumstances. And she's better than my mother.
Yeah.
Polite and mannerly even when alone with his wife.
No.
I mean,
what?
Depends on what you mean by polite and mannerly, because we kind of act similarly regardless. I mean...
I have to remind him to say please.
Let's see. 7. Publicly praises bachelor days and regrets having married. Dude, you shouldn't have gotten married in the first place. Yes, if you were marking that, you should not have gotten married. Mm-hmm. You know? It's one thing to have nostalgia for glory days or bachelor days. You know, we have that. That happens. You know, I have nostalgia for like certain times before I met Becky, but those times are gone. Memories are there, and the memories are fun, but you can't have them back, and I certainly don't regret getting together with Becky. I certainly do not regret that. So,
cool.
Consults wife's opinion on business and social affairs. Yep. Like.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
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 Like when I've had to, like, you know, leave a job or whatever for one reason or another, I say, hey, you know, you're I'm letting you know this. Is this going to affect you in some way?
Sometimes he consults me too often. It's like, I don't need to know every single detail of every little trip you're planning on taking.
Yeah. Let's see. Number 8.
No,
criticizes wife in public.
On your games for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, there's. Do you mean criticize, or do you mean talking down to her? Like she is a child, because there is a difference. Like, like if she's like, if we're out in public and she's doing something that maybe she doesn't realize it, and vice versa, you know, I'm pretty sure the other would say, "Hey, might want to knock that off." You know, I think it goes both ways, and it can go both ways because we're both a couple of dorks.
Yeah.
Has date with wife at least once per week. Yeah, we try. You know, thank you for Discord.
Yeah.
And the point. Oh, that's how you can get. That's how you can get up to like the 70s or whatever. Because this one on that one is 5 per date. So you could have.
Okay.
So you could have like 35 points out of that one if you want to.
Nice.
Let's see. Belches without apology or blows nose at table.
Booyah!
Yeah, I know I do. But so does she.
I usually get, I should have recorded that one. No, I'll usually comment on, oh, that sounded like a wet one, and he'll be like, we should have recorded it.
And on the other side, reads newspaper, books, or magazines aloud to wife. I mean, we have read articles to one another, you know, because something we do, I guess. But for the time frame it's like, I almost want to say that it's almost infantilizing based on everything else around it. But at the same time, it's like,
Not necessarily.
yeah.
No, I don't necessarily. It depends on the context.
Yeah. Leaves dresser drawers open.
No.
I don't do that.
I do, but I'm also the only one in my bedroom. So.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Yeah. Let's see. A good conversationalist. Yeah.
No.
I mean,
I'm
hey.
more of a listener.
But
Yeah.
But yeah, there, nights we'll sit there, we'll talk about whatever. Some nights we just enjoy each other's company on the camera. That's all.
Yep.
And some nights we do that too, obviously.
Saying that.
Yeah. So leave shoes in the living room. Where else do you put your shoes? Nah,
Norway.
I'm in my bedroom.
yeah. Nah, I joke about that because it's like for the longest time we would leave our shoes right by our front door, growing up and all of that. It's just whatever. But yeah, now I do leave mine in my bedroom, so not too big a deal.
Yeah.
Steady worker and good provider.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
No, I've got to give him 4 points on that one.
yeah. Steady worker? No, not lately. But good provider. 50 a month through Patreon, maybe. I don't know.
You tried.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
And the last row here, snores.
Yes.
I think we both
Apparently
snore.
I do.
I think we both snore.
I only snore when I'm on my back, and I sometimes wake myself up. He snores loud.
Yeah. I have noted there have been others that have noted that I do snore. And I think Becky has been one of them. But so does she.
Fair.
But
Yeah.
that's okay. Leaves car for wife on days she may need it.
We don't drive.
Yeah, it's like we don't actually have a we don't have an issue with that. We both use parents' cars around here where we are, so we don't need to leave the car for each other.
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah. I didn't keep score.
I said I've been making notes like no, yes, no, maybe, kind of, sort of. Like I said, the car one doesn't apply because we don't drive. But I say as a good provider and snoring, definitely yes.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I were to guess, I'd probably fall within the average range, maybe superior. But this is also from like the 1950s or 40s or something like that. So.
Yeah, I think he'd fall in the average. He gets like points for being a good provider and that, but loses points for being himself.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right. All right. So.
No. I'm playing a match 3 game, and when you get like 2 power ups and you want to combine them, but your finger goes the wrong direction.
Oh no. Oh. So now we have the wife's chart. I'm gonna try and make this a little quicker because wow, this is running a little long, and I want to get to the memes. So again, demerits first, and then merits. First is slow in coming to bed. Delays till husband is almost asleep.
We don't sleep together because he works nights.
Ah, yeah, and doesn't apply to me and Becky. So.
Yep.
Good hostess, even to unexpected guests.
I try.
I can see her doing that. Doesn't like children.
Love children. Want children. Didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't think that applies to her on that one, because we like children well enough.
She got fur babies.
Yeah, she does have fur babies. So fierce hunters. And has meals on time.
Again, he works nights, so I cook the food. He has it when he's ready for it. So
Yeah.
I guess that counts.
Yeah. Fails to sew on buttons or darn socks regularly.
Doesn't need repairs.
Okay,
I mean, if you need...
we can tell when this was written.
Yeah.
Honestly, he very rarely needs repairs, but if it's something I can do, I'm happy to give it a try.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to get a bigger score than he is.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's see. But it's like, I don't need repairs, and the stuff that I do, I just, most of the time it's usually when, if for me, when something is starting to need repair, like it's being torn or whatever, odds are it's time to replace it anyway. That's that's the kind of clothes I tend to get.
Oftentimes it's his work trousers, so he can't necessarily get them straight away, the replacement.
Yeah.
So you'll have to wait. Yeah.
That's fair. Can carry on an interesting conversation, as we discussed earlier. Yeah.
I think I can.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Wear soiled or ragged dresses and aprons around the house. She's in jeans and a t-shirt half the time, and that's fine.
Yeah, jeans and t-shirt or pajamas.
Yeah. Oh, hey, she does the pajamas thing too.
I think that counts as not dressing too scruffy.
Yeah. And also, to me, it doesn't matter. So,
Yeah.
can play musical instruments such as a piano, violin. I don't remember her mentioning being able to play anything, but, she's also an artist.
I took guitar lessons.
Yeah. I think her being able to draw is and to do a damn good job at it qualifies. I say as I look at 4 pieces of her artwork I have on my wall.
Aww. But yeah, I can play an instrument, so...
Yeah. Wears red nail polish is seen as a demerit. I don't see her wear
any.
I don't think she wears any. No. If at all. Maybe. Rarely. Like she doesn't even really do makeup very often, if at all. Which so in other words, does not apply.
Yep.
Dresses for breakfast. No, we go and we eat breakfast naked all the time. I know what they mean by dresses for breakfast, but I'm just being a smartass. It's like
also again, am I going out? Pajamas. Yes, pajamas. No, fuck it.
Pretty much.
Often late for appointments.
I have been, but I try not to be.
Yeah. No, the key term is often, and it's like, no, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Neat housekeeper, tidy and clean.
That's more his department. I try and keep my area tidy, but he does most of the housework, so that's probably the merit.
Yeah. She, from what she tells me and what I know, I think she probably does all right.
Yeah.
Sieves and hose often crooked.
Don't wear them.
Yeah, she doesn't either. Personally puts children to bed. We don't have kids.
Don't have any.
Yeah, so... goes to bed with curlers on her hair or too much face cream. Doesn't apply.
No.
And her hair is naturally curly and wavy, so she don't need it. Never goes to bed angry. Always makes up first.
That's situational.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that it's telling that they asked that question and phrase it that way, because it's assuming that there would always been an argument beforehand.
Yeah. Like, and it's like, we never really have fought. I mean, we've had like little disagreements and, little arguments here and there, but it never boils to that point.
Yeah.
And given what you hear of me through this show, you're probably thinking, holy shit, how the fuck do you do that? I mean, it helps that she and I agree on a lot of the most important things. You know, so.
Yeah.
Puts cold feet on her husband at night to warm them. Why
Sometimes because it's funny.
why is it seen as a demerit? God damn. It's like, I overheat at night. I overheat a lot in general. So if her feet are cold and she wants to warm them on my body, I will welcome those feet. You know, it might give me a little, excuse me, at first, but you know, a little jump. But after this, is like, no, you keep them on there. Asks husband's opinions regarding important decisions and purchases. No.
Depends how important, like how big or how important or how. But generally speaking, no.
Yeah, but no.
I would say that's situational.
Yeah.
That is situational.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, no, we haven't been in that situation where that is a thing that needs to happen, or at least from her end. Now, from my end, if it's an important thing such as a trip up to Joliet, that would be one thing. But that's on me and not on her. Is a backseat driver.
Don't drive.
She has never ridden with me. I've ridden with
Racing?
her. Well, I mean, she has never been in a car while I was driving it. As far as I know. She, whenever we would like go do things around town, she would be the one driving. Usually because I didn't have a vehicle to drive around town, because I would be there like in the truck. You can't just take that around town. So, I mean, not only is this for like space and everything, you also have your clock too. Because they do count it. And the company that I was working for at the time didn't have like that personal conveyance thing, so that you could access. But and even then, there's only so much of that you can do. Good sense of humor, jolly and gay. Yeah, you can really tell when this was written. Is jolly and gay? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think she does. Jolly and gay. Although more bi in her case, but yeah.
Yes.
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 Flirts with other men at parties or in restaurants. We don't really.
Oh, yeah, they're really cute.
I mean, she's pretty shy. She's not much of a flirt outside of me.
Aww.
So, you know. I mean, again, we're non-monogamous. She has the option to. She just doesn't, and that's okay. You know, I don't pressure her into be like, oh, you should try and pick up this dude. No. Religious. Sends children to church or Sunday school and goes herself. Ha! No. No. Is suspicious and jealous. Nope.
Yep.
Just not suspicious, not jealous. Nah. She's not the jealous type. She knows like the names of every other woman that I am also into. In fairness, they also know about her. So, and the last one for her, lets husband sleep late on Sundays and holidays.
I always let him sleep in.
Huh?
No, if he's got a day off, I always let him sleep in as long as he wants to.
Yeah.
So I would say, because most of the demerits don't count, I'm awesome.
Yeah. I mean, and I already knew Becky's awesome, but, you know.
Yay!
I already knew that. So, alright. We're going to go from that, and talking about...
I know Scully... Sorry, I know he didn't really have a partner that you joined in with, but do you have thoughts?
Yeah.
Other than, well, I mean, most of these don't apply to me because the relationship is long distance, like, as in different countries, long distance.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, also, yeah, you can tell when this was written.
Yeah. So, speaking of marriage and things, it's time to go on to the little meme topics. For those who are, if this is your first episode, I found this meme list on Twitter like months ago, and it was one of those one like, one opinion or what have you, and it was a list of 64 things. We started at the bottom at number 64, and we've been working our way up. So, the first one this week is marital rape.
Is a
marital
thing.
rape is still rape.
Yeah, I think it's in the name.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I don't think we need to spend too much time on it. It's wrong, it's evil.
Except to say, fuck you, Laurie Alexander. If you get that reference, well done.
Oh, God. She has a tumor.
Yeah, but apparently it's non-malignant. It's not cancerous.
Yeah, but still fuck her anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
like sorry sorry your body's doing that to you, but fuck you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you looked up, I think she goes under the transformed wife or what have you.
Yep, that's the one. Yep.
Yeah. If you want to raise your blood pressure, there you go. Next one up is Barack Obama. Thanks, Obama. Yeah, okay, I had to get the meme out. No. Honestly,
He seems like a cool dude.
I mean,
We liked it.
yeah, there are some issues that we have that people have had with him, like legitimate issues, not like he's a black Democrat. No, I mean like legit issues like drone strikes and overseeing the bailout of the big banks again. Things like that. Yeah, those are legit issues. But he was the first non-white president we've had in this country. And considering our country was, for all intents and purposes, founded in 1776 by white slave owners who wanted to be free to keep their slaves, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Speaking as a representative of the rest of the world, we liked him.
Yeah. I mean,
we thought he was cool. He did you a lot of favors.
Yeah. And yeah, I brought up accentuated the two negatives that I did. But, overall, it's like, he's all right. A couple of big fuck-ups. But most presidents have those. He wasn't trying
Plus,
to...
he's got a sexy voice.
Oh, I remember when he was running. And that was like one of my political junkie friends was like, you know what? This is not what I am voting for, but he's hot. I would, and she described to me some of the things that she would let him do to her. I'm like, okay, good on you. Like, all right.
Not hot for me, but he
Yeah.
does have that great speaking voice.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact his wife shares my name, which means I get to hear what he sounds like saying my name, which is kind of cool.
Yay!
So
Uh.
it's okay. Is this just a girl thing or a me thing? But like hearing a person you like or you think is kind of cool saying your name always sounds a little bit extra kind of cool, extra kind of yay to you, or is that just a me thing?
It depends. Like I've had people use my first. I think it was Mel in like a couple of months ago when she was doing more Instagram videos. She mentioned me by my first name, and I'm like, okay, that was pleasing, but also a little weird because most people don't call me by that name unless they're family.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
No, I just meant like using it, but not even talking to you, just just saying it in the wild.
Yeah.
Maybe it is just a me thing then.
Yeah. What about you, Scully? What are your thoughts on Obama?
Damn sight better than the one we have right now, that's for goddamn sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he did some really cool things, but also, like, I don't know. I think 2008 Obama was a bit more progressive than current Obama, or even Obama in 2012. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, he was pushing Medicare for all, but then he, like, compromised or something.
Yeah, how much because you said like some of the issues like the drone strikes, and yeah, I'm not going to argue that point. But how many of the things that he tried to do, like versus like because they wouldn't let him basically because he didn't have the majority where he needed it, versus things he just didn't bother or didn't try or because I don't did he actually break any promises or like any big ones?
As I recall, the one I can think of is he said he was gonna shut down Guantanamo Bay, but that never happened.
Yeah.
But again, was that a decision that he could have made, or was that taken away from him?
I think that was something he could have done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of things like Medicare for All and all of that, a lot of it was blocked by fucking Mitch McConnell.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we want to turn him into a lame duck president, blah, 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 blah. You know, which, thanks to
Topical?
Mitch McConnell, that last year of Obama's presidency, 2016, Scalia died, and Obama's like, all right, we'll get him replaced, and Mitch is like, no, it's a presidential year, you can't do that, me. And Obama,
Skip forward.
Yeah, Obama being spineless in the face of this thing, because let's face it, the majority of Democrats are spineless, gutless weasels.
Yeah.
Even though Biden got my vote, because Florida you can get mail-in ballots and you can vote early.
Uh-huh.
I am not. It's one of those hold your nose and vote things, but
Yeah.
Democrats. Throw a spine. Republicans are bullies. You need to deck them every now and then.
Yup.
Figuratively, literally, I don't care. Because that's what bullies listen to. Is a good deck to the jaw. And trust me, it can work. Sometimes it escalates, but that's the risk you take. To show them, hey, I ain't putting up with your bullshit anymore.
Yep.
So, but we'll get back to the politics in a bit, because the next one up is modern architecture. It's
Do they have a
It
specific
exists.
one in mind?
no, it just says modern architecture, and it's like,
I mean,
is it stable?
okay.
Does it work? Yes. Okay.
how far back are they considering modern?
That's a good question. I mean,
Because I've never seen the Gherkin in real life, so I think that's the most modern one I can think of.
Yeah.
Like, local to me.
yeah. I mean, I guess it just depends on where you go. Some places look fine. If we're talking aesthetically pleasing modern architecture, I'm sure there's some around. I can't think of any right now because that's not something I put particular thought into, but I figure it's like this. If it works and it's stable, then it's good,
It's fit for purpose, and fall over in the wind.
Yeah. And as long as it's not supporting things like, like Nazism or white supremacy, things like that there.
I guess they mean like some like more weird designs, but without a specific example,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard to sort of.
Yeah. I wonder when the bean was made. That's the one in Chicago. It was this big reflective bean. And then the last,
Bean, as in baked.
yeah, bean as in the plant.
Yep.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
yeah. And our last one, Donald Trump. Donald.
What a piece of shit.
Donald, Donnie Boy, Donnie Fuckwad, Donnie can't. Yeah. We have said so much about him over the course of this show. Pretty much all of it is negative. We recently found out that the motherfucker paid only $750 in taxes over the last, 4 years? I think. And bear in mind, let me give you an idea. And this is my own personal one, but there are people who have paid more. When I lived in Indy, rent on the apartment I shared with Ari was about $750 to $780 per month.
Yeah.
We paid more in rent than Trump has paid in taxes. Hell, I can't. I want to say I've paid more in taxes, but every time I've had to file, I got a refund. So I'm one of the lucky ones, but I also did it legally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was allowed that. Trump and billionaires and rich folks like him, they have stacked the economic deck, against everybody and towards themselves so much that he has gotten away with this, and he's gotten away with this legally. That's the thing that makes me want to go and shoot him in the face. Well, okay, not the only thing. There's a lot of other things.
My partner was like, "Oh, that just makes him a good business person." No, it makes him a cunt.
Yeah. Good at business.
No, we're not.
Good at business. Here is the sign of a good businessman. Okay? Somebody who does not overspend on things that he doesn't need. Somebody who pays his employees well above minimum wage. Somebody who provides a good service or product.
Yeah.
And, somebody who's able to actually help that business thrive. And so, yeah, with those 4 points, sure, and that does apply to some businessmen. Some. They're usually smaller, but some. The big ones, as has been noted out on social media, you can't get to billionaire status without stepping on people.
Yeah.
Not the way it's set up. If there is a way to do it, it's not fast enough for these capitalists. And also, just the morning we're recording this, there was a trend on Twitter that Eric Trump went on Fox and Friends and said that he was part of the LGBTQ community. There are several possibilities. One is he actually is. He actually is not heterosexual. And if that's the case, okay, good on him. You're still a raging asshole, but good on you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
2, he's dumb and he doesn't realize what he just said, in which case, okay, good on you, but you're still a raging asshole. Or 3, he's saying it trying to score points. You're gonna say, "Oh, I'm a part of this community." Blah 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 blah. I was like, dude,
going with the third option.
I'm looking at all these replies, and everybody in the LGBT community that's replying to it so far is like, "Good on you, but no,
We don't want him."
Yeah, there you go. It's like, no, dude, no. Oh.
But again, speaking as a representative of the international community, all that good stuff that Obama did for you, yeah, Donnie undid very quickly.
Yeah, because I don't want this. And also, and this is something I figured he would be doing anyway. It's recently come out that Trump is bad talking his evangelical base behind closed doors. To which everybody else who knows him and can see the patterns are like, duh. Fucking duh. Of course he is.
Yep.
Because he doesn't really care about anybody besides himself. Him, everybody is just a stepping stone to get him more power or more money. Just so he doesn't have to endure the shame of buying Viagra. Are you saying that Trump is impotent? Yes, I am. I don't give a shit. I mean, hey, he spews out lies and nonsense about everybody else. He can take a few. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Nah, there's actually plenty of legitimate things to criticize Trump on and call him out for and want to have him removed from power and even life from. But, yeah, we don't need to make up any. As fun as it may be sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh. So, Scully, I know you've got thoughts. Okay. All right, so we'll just take a moment, and then I'll do a countdown when he comes back. uh, yeah. Yeah, while we were doing all of that, my dad texted me. He was like, "Where's your mail-in ballot?" I mailed it off already. Because originally he was gonna do it in my stead because yay. Yeah. Originally my dad was gonna mail it off along with his because, hey, he's save time, but he didn't do it. I'm like, I'll go out Monday. And I did. So, all right. Starting in my dad, I think he runs as a Republican. I don't know how he votes. I don't know how he's voting this time around. But yeah. And the reason he and my mom tend to run Republican is because way back in the day, there was like this hang up with with Congress. That was like Carter administration days. And because there was a hang up with the budget, the soldiers didn't get paid for at least a month. And they blame it on Democrats. Never mind the fact that Republicans were also probably part of the problem, but they blame the Democratic president because Carter was in charge. But anyway, all right, we'll start back getting Scully's thoughts in 3, 2, 1. So, what do you have to say about all of this, Scully?
Fuck Donald Trump, fuck everything he stands for, and fuck his racist ass voter base.
Couldn't have put it better myself. So with that, we are going to go ahead and take our break, and when we come back, we will have don't have a lot of news to cover this week, but we've got some. So stick around. Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in a moment, but first I want to tell you about Patreon. Patreon is what I use to get around all of the YouTube adpocalypse bullshit, and while I don't have a lot right now, every little bit does help. And if you like what you hear or what you see on any of my videos or podcasts, head on over there. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of these things early before anybody else does, and you can get them completely ad-free. Yeah, I know YouTube right now is technically ad-free, but at some point, I'm probably going to get big enough to where ads will start coming in, and those can be annoying, so you want to avoid that, right? If you go ahead and go now over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX, leave $1, $5, doesn't matter how much, you can get all of these. Again, you can get them early, and you get them without ads, even when I reach the point on YouTube to where ads can be put on these videos. So it's a win-win. And you can even avoid the ads that go up on the Anchor versions that go out to all of the other websites that are out there. No ads. It's great. So that's patreon.com/Gomer21XX.
And now, an important message from Tyler Green, Kitty Quinn, and Randy Martin.
Are you tired of asking yourself if that obscure show or movie you watched once was a fever dream?
Is it still in your brain to this day as a 3 a.m. channel-changing hallucination? Well, join us as we yank that said memory out of your subconscious while we do a deep dive on it on Channel KRT.
Channel KRT is a new bi-weekly podcast where we look at the best and worst of obscure media. We'll be covering such topics as
The Puzzle Place,
Clown TV,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show,
Reanimated,
The Weird Al Show,
We Sing,
and more. Join us every other week over at Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, and wherever podcasts can be heard. Channel KRT, cut to static.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to this little segment I do in the middle of the show. And I want to bring up something that's a bit disturbing on my part. I say disturbing, a little worrisome, a little disturbing. And it is this message, and I'm not the only one who got all of this. There it is. It is this message we got from YouTube. Now, if you don't watch it on YouTube, then this may not affect you too much. Unless you watch it directly on my site, then it may affect you a little bit. But if you just get the MP3s, this may not affect you at all. But you also may be a YouTuber, and this could affect you too. And yeah, you probably got the letter. But for those who don't, so starting September 22nd, so that is about last Tuesday, as of recording this, they're expanding the age restriction efforts as part of our ongoing content commitment to keeping YouTube creators and viewers safe. This is email from YouTube. They're expanding the use of automated systems along with their team of expert reviewers to apply age restrictions to videos that aren't appropriate for all ages. Greater safeguards in place, you may see videos on your channel placed behind an age restriction, which limits the content to viewers who are at least 18 years old. Okay. We anticipate little to no impact to your video's monetization, as age-restricted videos are likely not suitable for all advertisers, will have already been rated as limited or ineligible for ads. As always, you can appeal an age restriction if you believe this was applied in error. How does that affect this show? Well, I mean, all I do is just do not market for kids. It's like, whatever, you know? Kids, and let me tell you something. The show is on enough platforms. If kids really want to hear it, they'll seek it out. If you're a parent and your kid is listening to this and you don't want them to, have a talk with them. Don't take it out on me. And I will tell you the exact same thing if you try and email me about it. All right, parent your kids, Karen. But that's not the big thing. Well, that's part of the big thing. But here's the other big thing. We're also adjusting the way our age restriction works off of YouTube, prohibiting age-restricted videos to be viewable when embedded on most third-party sites. Let me repeat that. Prohibiting age-restricted videos to be viewable when embedded on most third-party sites. That affects me. That affects Mikey, the literary layer Mikey. That affects Diva. That's just 3 that I can think of right off the top of my head. Who are, It's been a while. It's been a while. I'd have to refresh, but as far as I know, none of us shy away from saying things like "fuck." You listen to the show, you know I don't. So we have the proclivity to talk about more adult and mature content within our shows. We don't always. In fact, I do it more than they do. But if any one of us gets hit with something like this. And if WordPress, that's the site we use to host the site, service rather, we use to host the site, that means we couldn't embed our videos there, which is bullshit. We should be able to do that on any site we choose outside of YouTube, which means if it happens, our viewers would have to click through to go straight to YouTube to watch it. We can't embed it. We'd have to find a workaround. And I really don't want us to have to do that because there's no necessary need for it. Oh, and also, users that click on an age-restricted video on another website will be redirected to YouTube, where they will only be able to view the content when logged in. What if they don't want to log into YouTube? What if they don't have a YouTube account? I don't know the statistics on how many of our viewers combined have an actual YouTube account, but we shouldn't have to log in just to see it, We really shouldn't. We should just be able to watch the video. Maybe, the best thing to do would be like have a disclaimer on the front or whatever that YouTube puts on, like a little ad or whatever. You could do this. That's fine. You put ads in the front all the time. Say, hey, this video is not intended for audiences under 18. Now, with Thespian Talk, you hear Mel at the beginning of the show that does the, viewer discretion, listener discretion, and being advised and all of that. And maybe that's enough for us, but, what about others? Because that's what I worry about. Because we're a podcast. We, as I've mentioned, and I'll mention again, we're on multiple platforms. Not just YouTube. But Diva and Mikey aren't. And same with all these other producers that produce content that do tackle mature topics. Topics more mature than books and musicals, even. That would be affected by this. I'm talking people like Jimmy Snow. I'm talking people like, even Sarah Zed, who covers some heavier topics. Rachel Oates, just to name a few off the top of my head. They would be affected. And what's to be age restricted? That's another question you got to ask. If they talk about LGBT stuff, is that going to be age restricted so teenagers and younger can't view them? Even if it's like saying, hey, gay people exist, this is what you need to know, this is what it means, and it's okay. Is that going to be age restricted? Because it's been done before. So yeah, I just think that I think I see what YouTube is wanting to go for. They want to make sure they don't get into a lawsuit by some stupid Karen whose kid went behind their back to watch something that they deemed inappropriate or pornographic. I understand that, but YouTube's going out about it the wrong way. The responsibility needs to go with the parents. So again, I say, parent your damn kids, Karen. We ain't your babysitters. YouTube ain't your babysitter. We ain't your babysitter. All right? That's as simple as that. Now, I bring it up again later in the show because I didn't think about it until then. And yeah, you're going to hear me refer back to this. Oh, out of order recording is fun. But yeah, this is a bit of a long one for this week, but it was stuff that really needed to get out there. And thankfully, I would imagine most people would listen to at least half the show. But yeah, thanks for listening. If you're not a fan of this change, go bark at YouTube. Maybe something will get done. Or if you have a lot of money, let's start up some competition to YouTube. If you got a lot of money and you want to do that, come talk to me. We'll do it. All right. We will see you all later. Enjoy the rest of the show. And we are back from our break. And we're just going to go ahead and hit right into the news. Our first one comes out of Yakima. I'm not seeing where the state is or whatever. No, just Yakima. Mm-hmm. And by the way, if you are a watcher of What the Fuck Is Wrong With You, take a shot. Because funny thing is, this story was the first one I put in the news file when I was putting together the show for last week. And at the point where we needed to call it for next week, this was the only one in there, so I was like, I'll leave it in. Not realizing that Nash would cover it. But we're going to cover it a little bit too, because why not? Because it's kind of becoming more of a thing. So I don't think we covered the first one, but Nash covered it on his show about a lady who was running on the run from the cops, saying she just needs to take a shit. And like that was one of the things she mentioned. Is like, I need a poo. So we have a sequel. A Yakima man is under arrest and facing a dozen serious drug and identity theft charges after what began with a bicycle missing a light. Police say Saturday evening an officer noticed a man riding a bike on South on 10th Avenue in Yakima without a light on his bicycle. The officer saying he decided to stop the man to talk to him about the importance of having a light on his bicycle on a dark roadway at night. I think they mean said, but we'll go on. After the officer turned on his emergency lights, YPD says the man didn't pull over and instead tried to get away, making multiple turns and pedaling the bike extremely fast. I mean, considering what the cops have been doing lately, can you blame him?
Nope.
At the 1700 block of Pleasant Avenue, police say the man ditched a bicycle, threw a backpack on the ground, and began running down the driveway. Police say the man tripped while trying to jump a 3-foot fence, and the officer yelled he'd use his taser on him if he kept running. At that point, the officer says the man put his hands up, exclaiming, "I just need a poop!" "Don't tase me, bro! I got shit!" Oh. It's funny because the "don't tase me, bro" guy is actually a white supremacist. That's disappointing. But this guy I don't think is. 38-year-old Samuel C. Riojas, I'm assuming Hispanic, was arrested. In searching Riojas and the bag, they say he tossed away. Editors, please. And a little background. I know somebody would be like, well, couldn't you copy pasted the stories in, right? Couldn't you do that? You know what? I copy pasted it for quick and easy access.
Yeah.
So anyway, in searching Riojas in the bag they say he tossed away, police say they found 3 different cell phones, brass knuckles, a pill cutter, $240 in counterfeit currency, $240 in counterfeit currency. I rented this tongue, marked prop only. Well over 100 blue oxycodone pills laced with fentanyl. It's apparently 2008. 9 Suboxone strips, 2 pipes, a scale, numerous knives, and some suspicious checks. Police say they also discovered that Riojas had felony warrants for a DOC violation, possession of heroin, and identity theft. The investigators say they tracked down the owners of the suspicious checks, found that they were from 2 people who said they recently had checks stolen from them. Riojas faces 4 charges of possession with intent to deliver, possession of drug paraphernalia, 5 counts of possession of stolen property, 2 counts of identity theft. Now, the checks...
Wow, that's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The checks and the identity theft. Yeah. The checks that were stolen and the identity theft and all that, that's some bullshit. You really shouldn't do that. And rightfully getting charged with that. Now, the drug charges, on the other hand, I am becoming increasingly on the side of these drug dealers, especially if they're nonviolent, because of where our economy is right now, in particular. Because if no one will hire you, and you can't work because of coronavirus, then what options do you have in order to make money, to make your rent, to pay a landlord who also does not work a regular job because he thinks that he should be able to get money in perpetuity from people who may not be able to afford it, and is just as willingly to throw people out into the coronavirus as, landlords suck, by and large. There are some good ones, but by and large, they suck, is what I'm getting at. But what else do you expect people to do if you require money from them and they have no other means? What do you expect them to do? Like, seriously. Like, I mean, one could turn to sex work, and sure, that is also an option. But that's also not easy to make a living at. It's just like any other kind of content creation. It's not easy to make a living at. Drugs, you could get them quickly, you can sell them quickly, and you got some quick cash right there. Boom. Now the counterfeit currency, I admit, sometimes my brain has thought, if I had the means to do it, I would, and it could do it perfectly to a T. I would fucking do it. Because the economy's getting fucked anyways. What fucking a little bit more isn't going to hurt. So, Michelle, we're gonna start with you. What do you have to say?
There was a lot in that final sentence.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly,
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. The thing that got the story in here was, I just need to poop. But then there's all this other shit. No,
I thought it was just going to be another goofy story about this guy. He just wanted to drop trout, and there was being thing, and it's like, hey, dude, sort your light out, trying to be all. And then it suddenly becomes Breaking Bad. I assume I still haven't watched it, but it's like you got the basic hook. I know they buried the lead. Mm-hmm. That is what that is. They buried the lead.
They did.
Oh, totally.
I'm not sure I necessarily agree with you on the whole people selling drugs, because I don't, somewhere down the line, someone is being violent, someone's being hurt, someone's being exploited. I kind of get what you're saying about you're gonna make a buck somewhere, but I'm not sure that's necessarily the best way. Maybe that's just me being a bit old-fashioned. I don't know, but if no one is getting hurt and you can prove no one's getting hurt anywhere down the line, then maybe. But that could just be my.
Yeah. Or at least not hurt through the actions of the seller. Like directly hurt.
Yeah.
It's I would say it's addiction aside. Setting addiction aside. It is the person's choice to get the drug.
Yeah.
And put that into their body. Again, I want to reiterate, setting addiction aside, that's a whole nother topic. But so it's so the person is deciding to do this to themselves. Now, should they be doing this to themselves, depending on what the drug is? That's up for debate.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna be all like all bodily autonomy and type stuff, the final say has to be the person taking the drugs. And again, setting addiction problems and such like that aside.
Sorry. Have you seen what Eli's posted in politics on the Thornbush?
I have not. But while I take a look, Scully, how about you give your thoughts on this?
Well, that took a turn. I was just gonna say, just let the man poop, for God's sake. But yeah, I don't know. Not good if he's counterfeiting and other shady shit like that. That ain't good.
Yeah.
Drugs, I have mixed opinions on that, but yeah.
Yeah. I think, like I said, at the end of the day, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, and like I said, addiction aside, whatever.
Yeah.
Now this thing, I have seen this particular meme around.
I haven't. The first time I've seen it.
And this meme headline says, projections show U.S. could fund Medicare for all for 400 years, charging $1 to punch Mitch McConnell in the face.
Nice.
Oh, I'd be like, okay, how many? Here's 50. Here's 50. Get ready, Mitchy boy.
I like what Ethan put as well, though.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't. He'll just retract his head into a shell. I cannot do Ethan's voice.
Yeah, for one thing, he's Canadian, so.
Yeah. Well, he's Canadian, but he also his voice is a little bit different than what I went for. So okay, I wasn't even trying. But then again,
let's be honest about it.
Yeah. But then again, neither do people try for my voice, so works out. I don't know. But yeah. But this next story, Michelle, you're the one who brought it in. I want to try something different, and I want you to read over it. This one, we're going to try it a little bit different here. So
okay, give me a second.
Yeah. Oh, she brought it in. Yeah. Again, this is different.
The fashion brand Fred Perry has pulled one of its most famous polo shirt designs after it became associated with the far-right organisation. The company has halted sales of the black and yellow top in the US and Canada after it was adopted by the neo-fascist organisation the Proud Boys. In a statement posted to its website, Fred Perry said it was incredibly frustrating to see the polo shirt and its laurel wreath logo become associated with the group. The company said that although it sought to represent inclusivity and diversity, we have seen that the black yellow twin striped shirt is taking on a whole new and very different meaning in North America, and as a result of its association with the Proud Boys, that association is something we must do our best to end. The statement continued, to be absolutely clear, if you see any Proud Boys material or products featuring our laurel wreath or any black yellow related items, they have absolutely nothing to do with us, and we are working with our lawyers to pursue any unlawful use of our brand. Fred Perry was founded in 1952 by the Wimbledon tennis champion of the same name and has been adopted by various subcultures. In the 60s and 70s, its polo shirts became associated with the skinhead movement. Oh, crikey. But the brand has repeatedly spoken out against its use by far-right groups. Frankly, we cannot put our disapproval into better words than our chairman, John Flynn, did when questioned in 2017, the label said in the statement. Fred was the son of a working-class socialist MP who became a world tennis champion at a time when tennis was an elitist sport. He started a business with a Jewish businessman from Eastern Europe. It is a shame we even have to answer questions like this. No, we don't support the ideals of the group you speak of. It is counter to our beliefs and the people we work with. The Proud Boys were created by the Vice magazine Vice, no wonder I don't read that. Co-founder Gavin McInnes in 2016. in the lead up to Donald Trump's election, as President McInnes has since distanced himself from the organisation, which publicly insists it's not alt-right or white nationalist, but it has a history of glorifying violence and misogyny. In 2018, the FBI classified the organisation as an extremist group, while Southern Poverty Law Center lists it as a hate group. Over the weekend, Proud Boys organised a pro-Trump rally in Portland. Kate Brown, the Oregon State governor, declared a state of emergency in anticipation of white supremacist groups coming out of town, but far fewer people than anticipated showed up. So that's good. So at least Portland didn't get hit again because they've just got over the bloody fires.
Yeah. And
then to start all the shit that was happening prior to the fires.
Mm-hmm. And the shit that has started back up since those fires.
Yeah.
And let me tell you about the Proud Boys thing, because Mel lives in Portland, as I think has been mentioned before, and that they were supposed to gather on Saturday. Every weekend during the on season, she does the Saturday market down by the pier and the river and all of that. And I was naturally a bit worried, like I am. And it turns out, like says here, not a lot of them came. I think it was they were expecting 400, 500, and maybe 200 at most, I think. But at one point, Mel was on her way home. She went to this shop, and there was a few Proud Boys there that's just kind of hanging out or whatever. And she just kind of gave them a look and walked on her way, and they shrunk back like the little pansies they are. Proud Boys is very apt. And I did not know Gavin McInnes co-founded Vice magazine. I did not know that.
No.
Didn't know that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of the skinhead thing, they are...
Go ahead.
In terms of skinheads, they are kind of... They have been described as sort of neo-fascist. They have been associated with that, but they're mostly just sort of cause trouble. They do a lot of, they do start fights. And here's the big difference. One, yeah, they're kind of pussy, but also they don't have guns.
Yeah. Yeah, because they need to feel better about their manhood or lack thereof. So they have to carry around a gun. And I also want to note, because the Portland protests and everything got brought up and all of that good shit. As of the night before we were recording this, so this would be Monday the 28th. There were fucking pigs going in and trying to take shields away from the protesters. I was like, no, fuck you. The protests in Portland have been going on for a good 3 or 4 months, interrupted only by the fires. And, very few, if any, of the protesters went in there armed, as in with a gun, live ammo.
Yeah.
They very well could have decided, you know what? Fuck the police to the point, aimed for your fucking faces, and shot you all to hell.
Yeah.
They didn't, because they want to be as peaceful as possible. And people tend to forget the point of a protest is it's not meant to be convenient. It's supposed to do things like block traffic and make people uncomfortable. That's the point. And to their credit, whenever a city bus would be going through to take people to work or whatever, they'd get out of the way.
Yeah.
Because the people on the bus aren't part of the problem.
Yeah.
So, and it's even within the last couple of weeks, our governor, Ron DeSantis, may he go fuck himself royally for reopening the state all the way when we are still suffering triple-digit corona deaths a day. But he
actually... Sorry.
Yeah, he is
You go
actually...
first.
Yeah, he is actually... suggested legislation to make it less of a crime for somebody to run over protesters. It's supposed to be under the guise of self-defense or feeling unsafe or whatever, which is bullshit. That's the same bullshit excuse that the cops would use when executing a black guy. So, no.
If you're in a car, you're not in a vulnerable position.
No, you are not. And, but they can break in. Yeah, you realize how hard it is to break a car window? Ain't easy.
You.
You are in
It's
you are in a multi-ton death machine. They are on foot with bats. But
Sorry.
to the point of Fred Perry, good on them.
Yeah, I saw that on the Windows newsfeed thing. I was like, ooh, let me have a closer look at that. And I was like, immediately sent it to you. So,
Yes.
But no, sorry, the whole thing about the car, it's just, did you ever watch Sarah Jane Adventures? No, it wasn't Sarah Jane Adventures, it was Doctor Who proper. The one that features Sarah Jane, School Reunion.
Yeah.
Mickey is in the car with K9, and the school that they... No,
Yes,
Mickey's in the school in the car with K9 outside the school where all the action's happening, and Mickey's like talking to K9, going, "So what have you got? You got like a laser shoe, you got a computer. So we are in a car. Yeah, but like, can you do this? Or you got this? Like, we are in a car. So hang on a bit, we're in a car," and it just rams the school, the entrance.
Yes. Oh, that was great. Oh, lordy.
Mickey's not the tin dog.
No. Oh, but yeah, they're basically like what these guys are like. Yeah, it's like it's like the whole Pepe the Frog thing. Like the guy who originated, who made Pepe, it was distraught that people were taking his character and turning him into an alt-right misogynist meme.
Have you actually read Pepe comics?
I have not.
I've got a copy of them. I'll send you a copy. They're kind of dull. They're like silly college humor, but they're not overtly racist or offensive. Yeah, they're offensive in a sort of teenage boy, like late teens, early adult kind of way, like the stupid things people say. But as I remember, because I haven't read them for a little while, there's nothing like deliberately malicious.
Yeah. Yeah, at worst, one of them fucks a pie, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've been kind of taken away on this one. Scully, what do you have to say?
Good on them. I mean, pretty sad that the alt-right. Well, they've been doing this since Nazi Germany. But yeah, that they keep just taking away shit that's, from people like, let's see here. Oh god, like, okay. You know the whole, the word boogaloo, like electric boogaloo, has been kind of ruined.
Mm-hmm. Has it?
Because of the Boogaloo Boys. Yeah. There's this other white supremacist terror group called the Boogaloo Boys. They want to start Civil War II electric boogaloo, so they call themselves the Boogaloo Boys.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about those guys. Just, And they say white people have no culture. No, we have a culture. We just steal everything.
So I did, because I was thinking about this, and I don't know. Obviously, they say that like the skinheads took it on as well, but we have school uniforms. Like growing up, we have school. You go to school, you get your uniform, you become part of that. Like, for want of a better term, that tribe. That's your identity. You have your school pride and everything. And then, depending on the career path you take, you might have a job with a uniform, or you might have a job that doesn't necessarily require a uniform, but there's still like a dress code or anything. So it gives you that sense of belonging, that sense of identity.
That's not actually true.
Anyway!
Sorry, that's back here. The uniform is to level the playing field.
Alright, the uniforms are to level the playing field. Not the point I was making! But it is actually a fair point. But the point I was trying to make is that, as children, like, as a culture, and, like, I know Japan and probably a few other countries I can't think of, you have that sense of belonging from a young age.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that's what they're looking for?
I mean, that's how a lot of these alt-right people get indoctrinated into the alt-right, is they're lost, they're looking for something, and they end up on the worst possible thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I've stated I've stated in previous episodes that if it weren't for certain things in my own life, I very well could have went down a similar road. because I'd been, before these guys got a hold of the alt-right stuff and whatever, they were miserable, they were lonely, they felt they had nothing going for them.
Yeah.
They were in really bad, dark places. I've been there. But what I had, and what they obviously didn't have, were friends that were willing to say, hey, dude, no. Number one, you are better than that. Number two, that's some fucked up bullshit. Number three,
yeah.
So,
But I mean, like with the adopting an unofficial uniform as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's like some people do, some people don't. I mean, we don't need a uniform for the site. We don't need that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got a logo, but we don't. But we don't need to like wear it on all our clothes.
Of course, the other joke of it is that Fred Perry's not cheap.
Yeah. It's like, wow. That means somebody with money is getting them shit, or they're stealing it. Which, such a white person thing to do. Okay. Yeah. And before somebody comes and be like, well, not all white people. Well, no fucking shit, not all white people. No fucking shit. We're having fun with it.
Yeah.
Just, we've got to try and find some humor in there, okay?
Yeah. I honestly don't think they've nicked them all because we would have heard about that. Like,
probably.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'd say good on them. I think it's funny. I knew Fred Perry was a tennis player.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the founding, like the Jewish business partner, all that stuff. So that's cool. We learned something.
Yeah. It's like fucking white supremacists trying to appropriate things that would characters that would very quickly kick them in the nuts.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
So to end on a lighter note, we have a story out of Conway, Arkansas. Hi, Eli. Eli is he's from Arkansas, but he doesn't live there now.
No.
I don't know if Conway was his hometown, but anyway. Conway police are investigating after a music shop was burglarized on Saturday. Preston Palmer, which I initially read as Preston Parker, that's a totally different person. The owner of the Palmer Music Company tells us the first thief, there's more than one, broke in around 3 a.m., stole an electric guitar and an amplifier. Nash! No, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't.
I mean, to be fair, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's a hell of a drive, though.
Yeah.
So, video surveillance shows the suspect threw a brick into the bottom portion of the front door, crawled through, and was gone in less than a minute. They knew what they wanted. They went straight for it and got in, got out, said Palmer. Palmer says watching the surveillance video strikes a chord, knowing how hard he has to fight during the pandemic to keep his business afloat. It's sad, honestly. It's sad. 3 hours after the first thief leaves with a guitar and amplifier, surveillance video catches another suspect coming through the door around 8 a.m. They looked around, found the most expensive price tag they could find, sat down to make sure it was in tune, then crawled back out the hole with it. Okay. What?
Oh boy.
Just. Okay. I understand. You want to have your, hi, music person here. I understand about having things in tune. You need to have that. That's fine and dandy. Do it at home. Don't do it while you're trying to nick it from the shop. Oh. Palmer says while it's frustrating to watch a thief make themselves at home in his shop, he hopes they can get the help they need. I feel bad for them, said Palmer. Says the 3 items the thieves got away with cost around $12,000, and he's hoping the insurance will help replace them as well as his shattered door. I don't hold high hopes for insurance, man. I hate to be the downer, but I don't.
Yeah.
This is the same thing. This is the same kind of industry that will do everything they can to not pay you because you need to go to the doctor. So, yeah. But who knows? Hopefully the insurance will do good by him.
I mean, he's got surveillance footage, so
yeah. So if he wanted to, well, he obviously did turn it into the police because the police are investigating.
Yeah.
But it seems like the guy has no real ill will. It's like, hey, look, it's frustrating, but help you get the help you need. So this Preston Palmer dude, he seems like a stand-up guy. And it sucks that his thing is broken into, and that one thief, like, dude, you shouldn't be breaking into a music store to steal instruments and shit. But if you're gonna do it, don't sit there and tune at the shop. It's a good way to get your ass caught.
I mean, I'm sorry, because I know stringed instruments need to be tuned. And obviously, like some brass and wind, you need like a special reed or something. But aren't they more or less, like, if it's got a valve on, you're pretty much going to be in tune? Like, is it? I
Not
know
necessarily.
Okay, so I know outside stringed instruments and obviously pianos, which do have strings, but you don't think of them as stringed instruments. I guess drum skins would probably need, adjusting. I'm just trying to think what needs tuning, apart from guitars and other stringed instruments.
Well, I can tell you, because I was in band in high school. And every now and then you trumpet. I played the trumpet, and every now and then we would tune it. And some of it's in the lips, good chunk of it's in the lips, but some of we also have like a valve on one part of the trumpet that you could pull in and out to like kind of lengthen the tubes around there a little bit, and that'll also help with tuning. It's also one like if you're holding the trumpet, there's like a ring around where your left ring finger will go, and you use that to kind of kick it out when you're hitting certain notes, and that tunes that note a little bit better. Timpanis, I know you got to tune them for different notes because each one is supposed to be its own separate note. Not sure how you tune a xylophone or anything like that, but I'm sure there are ways to do it. Not sure how you tune a well, no, there is a way to tune a trombone because in addition to the slidey part out front there, I think there is a thing in the back. Tubas are similar, so are French horns, euphoniums, all that.
Yeah.
That's knowledge I haven't tapped into in a while.
Yay!
But yeah. So so Scully, what do you have to say? I think Michelle kind of just took the initiative on that one.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's okay. Man, that Palmer dude is a bit too merciful. I'd be pretty pissed if my small business got, broken into and shit.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, I hope they catch the people who did it and he gets, compensated for it.
Yeah, at the very least, get the money for them. You know, at the very least. And even if not that, at least get, the door fixed.
Yeah.
If nothing else. That's bare minimum. Bare minimum.
So,
Yeah.
thinking about this logically, the first dude stole electric guitar and an amp. That's logical. He wants to keep them.
Yeah.
The other dude looked for the most expensive ticket. He's selling it. That can be tracked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So they could definitely get the second guy. The first guy, I don't know. Unless he's doing a gig in the next couple of weeks and he recognises it.
Keep an eye out for all rock and metal gigs that are happening in Conway, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And the surrounding areas.
Yep.
But don't steal your instruments, kids. Let's not do that. And if you must, just get it and go. That first thief got the right idea.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do it, but if you're going to. And with that is going to be it for this week. I appreciate you guys listening. I thank you all for tuning in and all of that really good stuff. And hey, I'll plug the channel KRT that's in the mid sections now. Plug them again. Go give them a listen. I think as of this recording, they're talking about a Halloween episode of That's So Raven. As of this recording, I haven't listened to it yet. By the time y'all hear this, I hope I have. But it's probably really good. Tyler, Randy, and Kitty they're good people, and they do good work. Also helps that they're friends of mine. But yeah, they're good people. So give that a listen on your favorite podcast app of choice, which is also where you can find this show if you haven't already. I say that for the benefit of those who watch it on the site or on YouTube, which, speaking of YouTube, I want to get this out of the way because I really should have put it further up in the show. But if you're listening this far, this is important. That YouTube is going to work on how videos are embedded based on their content. If I read it correctly, they're basically looking to not allow videos that are not family friendly, or at least not for all ages or what have you. I think it is not embeddable on certain websites outside of YouTube. So I don't know if that will affect this show, but I mean, it's still available to view on YouTube itself, and it always will be. But where it might change on the website, rtgomer.com, we don't know yet. But if nothing else, I can always make sure there's the MP3 link, or at least a link to the video itself. It will still go up. That just might change. And that also affects a few other people on the site as well, who definitely do not put out kid-friendly material. I mean, one of them is a demon who reviews musicals. I don't think demons are very kid-friendly, generally speaking. In fact, I know she's not, because she says the fuck word every now and then.
Diva? No.
But yeah, so YouTube's gonna YouTube. They're doing some bullshit, and it will likely affect things on the site. Again, I really should have put that up in the front. Maybe I'll remember to reiterate it for the midsection. So this may be the second time you hear it. I hope it is. That means I'll have remembered. So with that, we are going to get out of here. Michelle, if we wanted to find you on social media, where could we find you?
You can find me on Linktree, which is linktr.ee/Phoenix11. That's PHEONIX11.
All right. And Scully, where could we find you?
Man, I need to make a link tree, but meanwhile, you can find me on Twitter at Scolipendra and Scolipendra91 on Tumblr.
Sweet! And of course, you can find links to everything I do over at linktr.ee/Gomer21XX. That's got everything from the Twitters to the Facebook page. Not my personal one, but the more public one. Granted, my Facebook is also public, so if you know my first name, you could probably find me, but that's okay. Twitters, Tumblrs, and all those sites there. And of course, that does include the Patreon, which I'll plug again. Patreon.com/Gomer21XX, because could really use the pickup on that one, to be completely honest. So, because a couple of months is going to be really close to the wire for me, and I could use the boost. But most importantly, if you like this show, I hate to do the whole YouTube thing, but if you're on the YouTube, watching it on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, it helps the algorithm. And just as importantly, no matter what platform you're watching it on, share it around, show your friends, show strangers, get a whole bunch of cheap USB drives, put the episode on it, and just put it in people's mailboxes. I don't care. I don't recommend that because that can get pricey, but
Sorry, that tickled me.
Well, good. I did my job with that one. But seriously, do spread it around. Hell, even if you don't like it, be like, hey, look at this asshole. Hey, I've used it for you.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you guys again for listening and putting up with us. And until next time, this is Gomer the Ranting Thespian with Michelle and Scolipendra. Signing off.
Bye.
Later.